Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. Look on the screen, it's Kimmy. She is married to Maurice on the show that I watch. I actually haven't seen it in a while, but I was catching up. Love and Marriage Huntsville. So this is from season 11, episode 1. The streets are talking. And listen, I'm going to play this excerpt. Ladies, we know men think different than what we do, but keep in mind, I want to listen to this and keep in mind the fact that some say that Kim, that she was a side chick. She said she was not. Okay, it was over, and they didn't really get together until Maurice was divorced, which I don't buy that. That's my opinion. But listen to this and just consider. Keep in mind the fact that before they got married, he had already been married. Okay, and then their relationship took off. So he's been through a divorce. So listen to this. And it makes me wonder if this is what a lot of, I'm not going to say label her a side chick, but if a lot of side chicks or women that date the men that's divorced have to go through. And when you hear something like this here, if it rings a little bit differently.
I've had time to process our conversation.
What conversation?
The conversation that we had at AC when you said, I want you to be happy whether it's with or without me.
Whoa. So you hear that? He said to her, I want you to be happy whether it's with or without me.
The conversation that we had at AC when you said, I want you to be happy whether it's with or without me. And that's kind of sat with me for a little while.
Of course.
It looks like we're gonna
what?
I don't know.
You said before we even went to therapy, you want me to be happy even if we're not together.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what this comment you don't want to spill out is about?
Some stuff
you just can't walk back. Because see, and let me know what y'all think. In a woman's mind, especially given the pre-life that he had, and as some say allegedly, she found herself in their relationship. For him to even say that, I'm just gonna tell you, it makes me think, and maybe it's just me, and might be just Kimmy, but it's making me think, making it sound like that at some point in time that he has already envisioned within himself a life without her. Do you remember Ashley Darby on Potomac? And an old episode when she was still married to Darby, the husband, they were having a conversation. And I'll never forget, he'd given her some papers, and Ashley didn't even read them, didn't go. And the scene, she was sitting down, he was behind a desk, and she was sitting like on a sofa or a chair or something. And he gave her some papers and for her to sign. And it's like he had changed. I don't know if it was like a post-nup, but it's like he made some changes. And I was like, man, that girl just sat there, held the papers in her hand, and she just signed and didn't really read them, didn't go see an attorney. But see, he knows what he's working with, given the power dynamics of the relationship. Her life before him, and with him. So the reason I brought that up, you remember the part when he said, which I will never forget, this when they were talking about having children. Good thing she did because she got some child support payments. But he wasn't sure. And he said to her, because she brought up you said, we're going to start trying to have a child. And Michael said to her, well, actually, I'm planning my life without you. Whoa. When he said that and handed her the papers and she signed like that, I knew that you just made a mistake. He said, I'm actually planning my life without you. And look what happened, and they're divorced. For him to say that, he's planning his life without you, giving you some papers to sign, and you just signed, girl. Where are you from again? So this right here, again, that's a different couple. Human behavior is the same. When Michael Darby said that to her, I'm actually planning my life without you, that was a cue to me. And then you look fast forward, look what happened. So this right here, things like that, and she has a right, that would play over any woman's mind, especially a mature woman. She's a businesswoman. a lot of things, but she is not slow. That's going to always be there because the fact that he verbalized that will make any woman think so. At some point, he had, and maybe it's common, people get upset about their marriages, things like that. Somebody, it happens. But the fact that he said that, that's going to always be there. You can't take it back. The genie is out the bottle. And when things come up, that thought's going to be there. Because why? He's already thought it. Before you think it, you have to verbalize. Before you verbalize, you got to think it. So he's already thought that.
Conversation. The conversation that we had at AC when you said, I want you to be happy whether it's with or without me.
Whoa.
And that's kind of sat with me for a little while.
It looks like we're gonna
what?
Exactly.
I don't know.
No, I think you do know. He said, it looks like we're gonna what? I don't know. Oh no, I think you do know. I think you caught yourself and didn't want to verbalize and the camera's rolling.
You said before we even went to therapy, you want me to be happy even if we're not together. Mm-hmm. So is that what this comment you don't want to spill out is about?
Some stuff just comes out.
And you know what also comes out? The truth. The truth, the truth has the tendency to come out. I want you to be happy, even if we're not together. Where you come from with that? Just makes me think he's thought about that. That's entered his mind. Looks like we're gonna. And then I saw our previous episode when they were speaking, she had a problem with it, and they were at a different location, and she was like pretty much insinuating my interpretation that he was like putting his first wife's feelings ahead of hers, because they have a child together. So this right here, marriage isn't easy. And when you're bringing in these first, second marriages, and you have him making a statement like that, don't forget with the first wife. I think the first wife, in my opinion, I think that relationship was who he was before, and then he started to progress. Don't forget that with the credit. From my understanding, his credit got better the second time around when he got with Kimmy. He used to be real, real big, as I understand. He's lost weight. So this right here, she's getting the do-over. Number two is getting the do-over, the new improved you. That's what I think about Maurice. She's getting the one that maybe the person wasn't so big and out of shape, possibly. Maybe didn't have the best credit. Maybe at that time was still going through school and struggling, but finally achieved. She's getting the do-over. But see, here's the thing about that, because you got the do-over, maybe you got the better version of that man than when he was with his first wife. Guess what? My opinion, said it before, said again, these men are selfish. What makes you think that he may not want another do-over? Because again, he's already verbalized, I want you to be happy. What are they together now? What you mean by that? Say what's I'm sorry? So that make me think he's definitely he's given some thought to that, and it has come out. And looks like they're in therapy, nothing wrong with that. But see, it's not as easy as pie. He divorced her, now we're married, we're gonna live our happily ever after. Are you really?
The conversation that we had at AC when you said, I want you to be happy whether it's with or without me.
Whether it's with or without me. A man madly in love, he's not going to be thinking about that with or without me. But you do think that sometimes. I'm just saying, when you're on your way out. When you're on your way out, or you're thinking about you want out, and maybe you still want to keep it cool. You don't want to be brutal with it. With or without me? Most men, you tell them about a without, and if they're in love with their wives, and we know some men hate their wives, different video. But if they're in love with their wives and the idea of without, what the hell you mean without? He's not even trying to speak those words into existence. So I'm sorry to tell you, the fact that he said something, it means something. It does.
And that's kind of sat with me for a little while.
It should.
It's like we're gonna what? I don't know.
looks like we're gonna. Oh, I don't know. Who buying it? He don't know. I believe he does know. Doesn't want to verbalize it.
You said before we even went to therapy, you want me to be happy even if we're not together. So, is that what this comment you don't want to spill out is about?
Want you to be happy even if we're not together. So that lets, and we're all human. Different things come to mind, but let's not go for the okey doke. That's clearly entered his mind, I think, and I think he's clearly envisioned what that could possibly look like. And that's why I stand with her, because my darling, it should. Let me know what you all think. I hope the therapy works out for them, but that is serious. And sometimes I know it's easier to see it when you're at the outside looking in. It's like, I don't know if you watched that show. I used to watch uh, Housewives of Orange County, and I remember Shannon, which Shannon, she is not my favorite character. Just I'm just not cutting for Shannon like that. She's on the show. But I knew then, watching the episodes before with her husband, I knew then. I said, man, the world could see he's already checked out. Already checked out. Why his actions? Dude was already checked out. It was a matter of time before those papers was coming. Why? It was obvious. For this year, I wish him well. I hope they don't get a divorce. I think it would devastate her. But the fact that he says that, that lets me know at some point, in my opinion, he's entertained that in his mind. Going through this therapy, if it doesn't work out, and if that does happen, don't be surprised he going younger. Why? He's the better version. Another reason, don't be the cleanup girl. Do not be the cleanup girl and let a man advance on your timeline. Don't do it. Let me know what you think. I wish him well. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out. Girl, good luck, baby.